Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about investment properties versus second homes. What's the difference, why it matters. Jumping right in, second home is a property that you're going to live in, just not as your primary. So there's three categories to homes, right? It's owner occupied, investment property, and second home. So really the difference is are you going to live there or not? So investment property definition for lenders is actually considered what they call non-owner occupied, which means you're never going to live there. The second home is you're going to live there, it's just not your primary home. So that's really the definition difference for lenders. So it's not about owning another home, like a number two home, a second home. It's, are you going to live there at all? It matters, right? So with lenders, an investment property has income. So that's actually in our benefit these days, because about a year or so ago, 2 years ago maybe, Fannie Mae changed the category and the way that they price second homes and investment properties. Basically, they made them equal. So there's very little benefit to financing a property these days as a second home if you're going to rent it at all. Say like a vacation rental, something like that. Um, because with a rental property, an investment property, we can use rent to offset the payment. That's huge. So for example, like if you rented a house out for $1,000 a month and your mortgage payment was $1,000, right? On a second home, if you're not renting it, you have to qualify for the full $1,000, right? But on an investment property, if you've got $1,000 in rent, we can use a vacancy factor of 25%, which means I can use 75% of the rent to offset the payment. That means in that scenario, $1,000 rent and $1,000 mortgage payment means you're only qualifying for a $250 payment. You're not qualifying for the full amount. So that would change how much you qualify for as a whole pretty significantly. So that's probably the biggest benefit about doing an investment property versus a second home. The benefit used to be that second home rates were very similar to owner occupied rates. So you would get a better rate, you could put less money down, that type of thing. Well, for practical purposes, difference is gone, right? They price out the same these days. An investment property and a second home is the same rate for all intents and purposes. So there's very little, if any, benefit to financing anything as a second home these days if you're going to be using it for any rental income at all. So there you have it. That's the main difference. It's a pretty big one. And the definition is really, are you going to live there? Non-owner occupied versus owner occupied. And a second home is considered owner occupied, just not as your primary. So I know it's kind of semantics, but the lenders care. So there you go. But if you're thinking, which way should I go? Doing it as an investment property is going to allow you to qualify for more. The only difference, and maybe one reason why you'd want to do it as a second home, besides the fact that maybe it is just truly a second home, you're never going to rent it, in which in case you want to do it as a second home. But if you are going to rent it out and you had a choice, the only difference would be is if you qualify easily on your own and you don't need the rent to offset it, the appraisal will be slightly cheaper because we don't have to get a rent schedule or operating income statement from the appraiser, which would save a little bit of money there. But besides that, there really is no difference anymore. They price out the same, and all else being equal, the investment properties are a little bit easier to qualify for. So there you have it. So if you're wondering what the difference is and why you should go one way or the other, it's not as black and white as it used to be. They're really pretty much the same. So hopefully that helps you if you're looking at doing it. Feel free to give me a call on any questions. I'd love to help you out with it. John Hunter, guaranteed rate. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye.